to lead through, and he's got King 9x, yeah, so the 10 through would allow them to score all the spades, so a heart lead would work well.
Actually, David Bakshi was knocked out yesterday. He played on the Ekeblatt team, the number 16 seed. The name of the team was actually Levine, and they lost yesterday to the 49th seed, Bloom. Only goes to show how strong a field this is.
You see, it wasn't entirely out of the question for North to bid a natural 2-no trumps if he had that available, on the basis of hoping that his partner for a vulnerable double would have a good 6-card minor, which is likely to be in diamonds, where he's adding in the queen. So if he can count 6 diamonds, the ace of hearts and a spade, he'd need one more trick from his partner. So it's not a bad contract, 3-no trumps, because but I don't think Wolpert would have attacked the spade suit. He would know that there was a long minor to be run and be pretty wary of giving de Clara one extra trick on a spade lead towards the 3 extra that he would need to make 3-no trumps.
Right. In the other room on board 2, Kraniak is in 3-no trumps doubled. That must be Kraniak as North. 3-no trumps doubled.
Notice the comment here, Rusino regardless of the length. So this gets back to the agreements that a lot of players have, which is, Rusino only from length. They say Rusino all the time. That's what they're playing. So we guessed this right. So we'll never know whether Greco would have found the 10 of spades switch. So he's going to start by being plus 750.
At the other table, North-South were in 4 diamonds, down 1. So that's going to be 750 plus 100.
100.
I guess. Is 850, which is a big swing. First blood to Fireman. Might make an over trick now.
Right, well, let's go back to the bidding now that the play is over. I mean, notice that John Kraniak was not afraid to ride out 3-no trump doubled. Now, I think some people would look at their hands and say, well, you know what? I'm wide open in clubs. Looks like they're doubling on the ace, king, queen, jack, 5th. Let's hightail it out of here into 4 diamonds. And the people who think that way are going to get blasted out of 3-no by people who double 3-no with random hands like Jeff has. I mean, it was an attempt to stampede him out of 3-no. There's just no question about it. And he stood his ground with 10-9 4th of clubs. And by the way, partner could produce jack and a club and all sorts of things that could help you out. So 10-9 4th is far from, no club holding at all.
I'm afraid he's just going to take the money and run now. He'll take his 9 tricks and fold his cards.
This wasn't so easy. I mean, look, from Hampton's perspective, he's looking at the 10-9 8 of hearts on the dummy. So if he switches to a heart and it goes king ace, if de Clara has the jack, de Clara's just going to be able to play the jack of hearts right back, right, for 2 hearts, 6 diamonds, and the ace of clubs. So for Hampton to switch, he knows that his partner is going to have both the king and the jack of hearts, looking at that heart holding in the dummy.
Well, he was hoping that he had jack 3rd of clubs, but then, even then, de Clara can rise with the ace and block them.
And even if he doesn't, the partner's going to need the 10 of spades to be able to put through. Because that only gets you 2 clubs, and then you need 3 spades to go along with it.
I think he's obligated to take his tricks, because he unblocked the clubs, and so the 8 is high and dummy. So he's just going to take his diamonds, then he's got to lead a heart. And Hampton will cash the queen of hearts and the ace of spades.
At this point, honestly, I mean, Kraniak, he doesn't know what Hampton's doubling on. I think he's wondering whether he's going to try to hook Hampton out of the jack 4th of diamonds. and he's trying to foresee what he's going to do. I think the play will speed up quite measurably when he sees the jack of diamonds pop up doubleton.
Here comes the claim. So that was 13 well-earned imps to the Fireman team. And my guess is that in this match with the players who are in this match, there'll be a lot of large swings. There won't be too many pushes. The old intermediate three-diamond overcall was, it definitely got them there playing intermediate.
And I think that's a good treatment, vulnerable. I mean, if you've watched high-level bridge here on Viewgraph, it's almost any old thing. So in this day and age, you really need to be awake to the fact that just because someone opens a strong no-trump against you doesn't necessarily mean it's not your hand.
Yeah, it looks like they're both pairs are playing precision. Looks like.
Well, one club wasn't alerted. One diamond has a four-card major only if you have a game-forcing hand kind of a thing, even though it is by a passed hand.
Here comes another potential.
Yeah, I mean, I would certainly consider passing when my opponents were vulnerable and feel quite disappointed to see the ace-queen of hearts come at my left. Now notice how north-south are playing double. Double is takeout. Now, I think he can get away with this. This is a pretty dangerous hand to do it on. He is a passed hand, so he's trading on that. I think in the normal, this is my way of thinking, partner would probably expect more in the way of high cards if he shrugs his soldiers and passes it out, as opposed to, when you double with this hand, you're saying, boy, I hope my partner takes it out no matter what. I certainly don't want him to consider playing for penalties.
And if they're playing precision, and perhaps the operator got the one club wrong, then
I feel
Barry's
saying it was
one
a strong
diamond
club.
Is negative.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the double is
takeout.
Is automatic.
Yeah, if you've already limited your hand. Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to get doubled.
Three diamond game try is kind of aggressive. Yes, I think this will be doubled.
Wow. A little bit frisky by West, I must admit.
Which bid?
Three diamonds.
Yeah, it's a little pushy. Maybe a lot pushy.
Quite a bit. So 7 of spades lead. The north-south pair are playing third and fifth best.
So when you're playing third and fifth best, the rule of 12 applies. So you subtract 7 from 12, and there are 5 cards higher than the 7 in the other two hands, and the king, the 10, 9, the ace, and the jack. Demoy knows that, theoretically he would know to play low even if dummy played low.
Oh, this could be ugly.
I think it's about 500 down for sure.
In my youth, as I've gotten older and got more bruises and scars from being in contracts like this, I've tended to mature and not be so aggressive.
So it
Of
looks
course,
like they're
in the other
three
room,
hearts doubled in the other room.
they're in three hearts doubled. The diamond is led. Somebody said three hearts doubled must be the par contract. I don't think so. The fact that South made a take-out double of two hearts with his weak hand made it easy for Cragnac to lead a spade. He figures the partner has at least three, maybe four. So get off to the best lead.
Yeah, there's that. Plus the fact, what else are you going to lead? You can lead a heart from King Jack 9-4, maybe. You can lead one of your Ace Queen suits. I doubt it.
Well, it says in the other room a diamond was led. So maybe
Ace Queen third.
North. I guess, I don't know.
Well, I suspect we're seeing a club switch. Okay, there we go, a club switch.
So what do you think? You think it might be okay to continue spades here? Probably not. South's almost marked with three spades, so he doesn't want to set anything up. So he might
I don't.
bang.
No. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
He's probably going to bang down the ace of clubs here.
Yeah, I mean, Greco's made a good play trying to disguise the club position. But Cragnac knows for sure if he continues spades, it's going to go 9, ace, and probably rough. Now, he can see there's going to be a pitch coming. Heart to the queen, king of spades for some sort of a pitch. That's not to say that, leading ace of clubs might not be blowing a trick, because he doesn't know for sure what the club situation is. The six of clubs, let's see, if they're playing third and fifth throughout the hand, third from even, another point. There's a difference between third and fifth versus third from even and low from odd. So if you're third from even, you could theoretically read the six of clubs as a six-card suit.
I think it's probably a given from North's hand that South is void in hearts, just strictly on the auction.
Correct. And not only that, okay, Greco made a game try in diamonds. If he's got six hearts, he's probably got at least four diamonds, one spade. I mean, he knows that the guy has short clubs. And if he has king and a club left, let's see. No, he can't rough out. He can still rough out the ace of spades for a pitch. Well, now this could actually blow a heart trick.
I would think.
So, best is to play low, I guess.
Gee.
So he doesn't really have the entries to get the spades going. Heart to the queen, spade rough, heart to the ace, spade rough. So he may just lead a diamond toward the 10 right now. Figure the queen of diamonds is offside, which it rates to be, because righty has already shown up with ace jack of spades. So he's going to see if he can sneak this past John Kraniak, Kraniak was not born yesterday. So I suspect he'll continue to just plug away at hearts, knowing that if he doesn't need a rough anymore.
I think with the 9 of hearts, giving him 2 heart tricks, it might have been a little bit frisky to play a low heart. I mean, it's not the Tuesday afternoon at the club game. I mean, Greco's a very good player, and he showed it by that game.
I think they're going down at least 500 in the other room.
I don't know. Well, they both got to 3 hearts doubled. It just seems to me that a diamond, a heart, past 2 hearts. I think that limits partners 2 hearts, if you know what I mean. So you're aiming at a small target, trying to get all of the by bidding 3 diamonds, hoping that a lot of good things are going to happen. At this rate, my guess is that they're going to get some warnings from the director sooner or later, unless they speed it up. Because we're here now. It's 36 minutes into this session, and they're on board 3.
Which is the same board they're on in the other room, so they'll have to speed up.
Well, as long as they don't ask you and I, Jack, who do you think was the culprit?
Well, both pairs took quite a while on this hand.
And justifiably so.
So I'm really not sure where Greco could find any other tricks. I mean, he just looks to be off a heart, a diamond, and a club.
I agree with you. I would be folding. My cards and saying,
well, he can lead a low spade off the dummy. If South makes an error and plays the ace, you get the rough, go to the ace of hearts, toss the king of clubs on a spade, and get out for 200. But, that's not going to be happening. So he's calling it a day for 500.
So he claimed 2 down. For a push. How do you like that? You go back to your table and say, well, minus 500. And they say push. You say, yes, yes.
So they won't get very high here. It's a part score hand, of course. The only fit there is a club fit for East-West.
presumably West has to bid one no trump. He can't. Can he bid two clubs on a passed hand?
I doubt it. It would be natural, though. I mean, Drury doesn't apply over one diamond. Wouldn't be unreasonable. Okay. East would pass two clubs, and he would certainly also pass three, I think. Well, will he take a chance on that? Partner has a good club suit, but two small clubs, the worst you can have here, really. You know one of your stoppers will be knocked out quickly.
You can't really expect partner to have ace, king, queen to six. I mean, he might have earned three clubs on that, even on a six-card suit, rather than risk being shut out. So I'm sure Wolpert is absolutely right to pass.
Yes, and even three clubs is in jeopardy, isn't it? You may go down, but it very much depend on the lead. Spade is the best lead again. Diamond is also good. Heart is not.
North can tell that the ace of spades is likely to be in the dummy, because if West jumps to three clubs on a passed hand, he's not going to hold many points outside of the club suit. Still slightly risky, because West might have the queen of spades, but it's quite a well-reasoned lead.
Yes. So board three was indeed a flat board. Two down, doubled at the other table also. If the Clara gets clubs right, I think he can make this contract. Can't really hurt him because of the nine of diamonds in dummy. They can't switch to a heart. That suit is frozen for the defense. Can't really play spades without. Well, they can play a spade, but if the Clara gets clubs right, only loses one club trick, then he can make.
Well, he still has to avoid two heart losers. What play have you got in mind to deal with that situation?
The fall of the 10 of diamonds, David. So much for that.
South knew that North had the king of spades when his queen won, but he was worried that perhaps West had the jack of spades, and second spade wouldn't be that good a defence in that case, perhaps.
Well, he will probably make an overtrick. I think Platnik had to split there. Now he can play the Jack of Diamonds, Ruff of Diamonds, and make an overcheck. But he may not.
Yes, the written commentator, certainly a plausible line right here is to run the Jack of Diamonds. In all likelihood, lefty is not leading the four from four small. Well, that's what happened here. But if lefty does have started with, like, for example, King 7 6 X, then righty would have 10 third, and so the Jack of Diamonds might win. Or even if it's covered, you can go up with the ace and then rough out the 10 of diamonds. So that's trying to see if there's any significant downside. You can always work the hearts later if you want to play somebody for Jack and for honor doubleton of hearts.
Well, if he runs Jack of Diamonds and South wins the King, what do you think South will do? Play a couple of clubs, see what gets pitched. Might even squeeze dummy a little bit.
Well, yeah, it really won't matter because at that point, with the 10 of diamonds come down, he'll now have two pitches. The Jack of diamonds, he'll lose, he'll be disappointed, but the ace of diamonds will shell one spade, and the 9 of diamonds will shell a heart. So here comes, I suspect he's going to float this right now. Although the fact that it wasn't covered will cause him to reconsider.
Yeah. So do you think that he's going to play for South to have King Queen 10?
No, but just to have 10 third, that would suffice.
So what are you going to... Okay, so if South now plays the Queen and the Jack of clubs, I guess you're saying that East is going to pitch two small spades.
Right.
So he'll resign himself to the fact that the ace and the 9 of diamonds would have to be okay.
I mean, I'd be disappointed if it was lost. I'd be hoping the lefty didn't lead from 10-4. And often when people lead from 10-4, they don't lead third best. They lead second highest or something to illustrate that they have nothing. I'm not suggesting that my line of play here is foolproof.
Well, oddly enough, at the other table, West was in 3 clubs and they made it. And here we have West at our table struggling to make 2 clubs.
And that's all he's going to make. But he is going to be happy when he sees the 10 of diamonds flop.
100%. Yeah, now he's going to sit up.
And after he sits up, what he will hopefully do is claim 2, and we'll move on to the next board. There we go.
He did. It's like he was listening to you, Jack.
You know, I wouldn't recommend that, but
I don't think. Well, I could be wrong, but at trick 2, when they let a low club, is it right to go up with the ace right away? I suppose.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, but I was paying attention to something else when that happened. Okay, so here's a super light opening bid, although trading on the vulnerability to open a nebulous diamond. So let's see. 2 clubs, natural, 2 diamonds, exactly the natural diamond rebid. How good is 6 diamonds as a contract here? Not so good on a heart lead.
I don't think so.
Well, it'll make, won't it? With the club splitting 3-3 and with the diamonds coming home?
Oh, yeah, but it's still not a great contract.
No, I agree with that. So I'm not sure what the options are here, but I mean, suppose that you were playing a standard system, George, with 2 clubs was forcing the game. What would you rebid over 2 diamonds at this point?
Well, I might bid 3 diamonds. There we go.
That seems wise. If your partner bid 3-0, then what would you do?
Well, that's a horse of a different color.
I guess I'd boost to 4-0. But anyway, so Hampson's unwilling to grab 3-0 with 4 small spades, so he bids 3 hearts, showing that he has something in hearts. Now these guys open so light, I'm curious to see whether Greco even boosts to 4-0. But we'll see. I think he kind of has to. Let's see if his partner has 8, queen, jack,
yeah.
diamonds, queen of clubs, that's 9. No, maybe not.
Doesn't matter. I'd be trying 4-0, Tom. Even if partner's hand is limited to 15, he's allowed to have 15 on good days. These guys have played a zillion hands together, so they should have their system completely down pat.
Well, that's never true for anybody. That's one of the beauties of bridge. There's always something that pops up that you haven't seen, which makes the game interesting. But certainly their agreements are wider and deeper.
Yeah, I'm not talking about exceptions to the rule. I'm just talking about in general.
And by the way, notice he didn't even try. You're right. They've seen each other's opening bids so often that he doesn't even try 4-0, which is saying something, right?
I agree 100%.
And here, I mean, take a look. It goes queen, king, and all of a sudden, here you are in 3-0, and there's no guarantee you're making 3-0. 5 diamond tricks, right? Two clubs is 7. Is that right? Was it 5, 6, 7? Yeah, if you have 5 diamond tricks, you're going to make it. But if diamonds go 4-1, you're in a lot of trouble in 3-0. Not to mention the fact that the ace of hearts has been blown out at trick 1.
Well, he looked at the 3 of hearts, and he's hoping that that he led from fourth from his longest and strongest. Now he's trying to establish his 9th trick.
So assuming it was 4th best, he's sure that hearts are 4-4. This is important to know what your opponent's agreements are, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
If hearts are 4-4, then you know that diamonds are 3-2. Then you have 5 diamonds, 2 clubs is 7, a heart is 8, and a spade is 9.
If South stabbed a lead from Jack third, wow. Jack 9, say Jack third of hearts.
The problem is, even if hearts are 5-3, you can't really afford to see them switch to spades. So you're kind of locked into this line of play, no matter what's going on. Now that I think about it. And look how many tricks he's going to make here. 5 diamonds, 2 clubs is 7, a heart is 8, and a spade is 9. And how much more dramatic would it have been if Eric Greco had been 4-0? Like a lot of us might have with the 17 count, right? And partner could still have 14 or 15, blah, 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 But they've been around the block enough to know that the chances of going down 4-0 are going to be higher than the chances of making 6-0. So, they just let it go, which is what you have to do when you open all the hands these guys open.
Well, would you over 3 hearts would you and I bid three spades with king, queen, double, and a spades, or would we bid 3-no trump? Because if you play 3-no trump from the west side, it's a lot easier.
Well, that's a fair point. He passed up a chance to protect the queen of hearts, no question about that.
But I think maybe he was he was thinking of 4-no and then changed his mind at the end. I don't know, but over 3 hearts I would have bid 3-no trump. I mean, you showed 2 over 1 and you raised his diamonds. You went 3 hearts. I mean, I would bid 3 spades if I had the ace of spades. With the king queen, I'm not so sure. One of our more astute Kibbs says that bidding 3 spades was bad. King queen is doubleton is the wrong holding, whereas ace would be better. I would bid 3 spades with the ace, however many times.
Well, that might be right. Let me just stick in a word of defense for 3 spades, how it might work out. I mean, you know your partner couldn't bid 3-no over 3 diamonds, so you know that. So, king queen tight as a spade stopper, that isn't so good opposite a singleton or doubleton. But if you can suggest some help in spades, then you want your partner to bid 3-no opposite 4 small. So it is a measure of kind of gauging how well the spade stopper is. I mean, you're saying to your partner, okay, I know you couldn't bid 3-no, but if you have some help in spades, why don't you bid 3-no? So I certainly don't think 3 spades is bad by any measure, really.
Well, that's his word. But if you'll notice, in the other room, they were in 4-no trump by East making.
And I didn't notice what the opening lead was.
Probably a low spade from ace jack fourth.
And you are right, that is what it was. Of course, that's still not 10 tricks.
Well, they didn't display anything in the other room. It went a diamond, 2 clubs, 2-no, 4-no, all pass.
Is with a hand like this: 1 diamond, 6 diamonds, 2 clubs. I would never open 2 clubs, I have to say. It's between 1 diamond and 6 diamonds, I have to say.
But I'm not certain that 6 diamonds would shut South out because of favourable vulnerability. It might even, in some extreme case, I mean, say the west hand had been north, then 6 spades might even be a make against 6 diamonds making. Oh, he has opened 6 diamonds, right. Well, I think South's going to bid 6 spades now. I mean, it would be a beginner's mistake to start doubling. I had 2 aces and 2 kings, partner. This guy's vulnerable and he's opened 6 diamonds. Of course all those aces and kings aren't going to stand up. So if South doubles, I will, what can I promise to do really drastic? I know what, if he doubles, I won't even have an alcoholic drink tonight. Right, thank goodness he's bid 6 spades.
Right. Well, of course, opening 6 diamonds is a gamble, as one spectator tells me. But I kind of like 6 diamonds. So does David, because he said it first.
Well, it's not really a gamble because it's not likely you can find out what partner has in clubs. And it may be good enough to shut out the opponents, not only from a making 6 spades, but for a very profitable sacrifice if 6 diamonds is on.
So we need board 6. We need board 6, operator. Ta-da! Thank you very much, Ross.
I see. There certainly is going to be a lot of bidding on this hand.
Well, how
Diamond
often do you have
spade.
your 9-4s?
Not often.
Every day,
Not
9-4.
often enough is the answer. Diamond of spade, 2 hearts, 3 spades, preemptive, 5 spades. Exclusion for baby diamonds. Be 5 diamonds. Oh, I see. 5 diamonds. That seems a little on the conservative side. 5 spades, double, pass 6 diamonds, double, yes. Well, Vince Des Moines is going to be awfully happy his partner shows up with queen third of diamonds, I'll say that. Thank you, partner.
Yeah, that double was a bit unilateral. However, if he would have passed it over to North, North would have whacked it anyway. Have you ever had a 9-4 before, Jack?
Yes, actually I have. I've even had 10 threes twice.
When you're playing rubber, it sort of gives you a thrill.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid I didn't have those playing rubber bridge.
Playing rubber, I would normally hold the north hand.
I was just noticing that 6 diamonds would have gone off with the trump loser, and even if there wasn't a trump loser, he'd have to do something clever in clubs. So it just shows. I mean, it's just a good all-round bid. Nobody knows whether you're going to make 6 diamonds or not, so they may sacrifice when you're going off, and certainly you're making them take the last guess.
Now that was a good result for East-West in the other room. Going only 1 down. Oh, sorry, that wasn't 6 diamonds. So that was the alternative. Jeff Hampson decided to open the hand 1 diamond. 1 diamond, 1 spade, 2 hearts by West, 3 spades preemptive by North, 5 diamonds East, 5 spades South, double, pass 6 diamonds, double.
Does that seem a bit strange, the bidding by East? He just bid 5 diamonds, and then when his partner doubled 5 spades, he went to 6. I didn't really pay the fullest of attention to the bids before that, but did it look strange when you see the whole auction, Roland?
Yes, but he thought he had a surprise for everyone when he opened 1 diamond with a hand like that.
Well, yeah, it's fair enough to bid 6 diamonds earlier in the auction, but if you decide on 5 and partner doubles 5 spades and you've got a void spade, then bidding 6 then means that you think you should have bid it before, or perhaps he was walking the dog, as they call it, and always intending to go to 6 but didn't want to make it obvious that he thought he could make it. See, on some hands you think, well, if I'm allowed to make 5 diamonds plus 1, that'll be a good board because I haven't got much defence against a spade contract. And if they go to 5 spades and I then bid 6, they won't think they're not so likely to sacrifice then. So may have been the sort of tactics that he was following.
Right. So 300 this will be, plus the 200 from the other room. Well, that's 500, and 11 more imps to Fireman.
I'm probably completely wrong, but I've got some sort of memory that I remember hearing the name Woolpert from 20 or 30 years ago. Is this possibly a junior whose father used to play? Is that at all possible? Is he young, this Woolpert?
Oh, yeah, he's in his 30s. Gabbard.
If he's
I
in
believe,
his
or
30s,
around
the answer
30,
to is
yeah.
he young is yes, because that's very young compared with me.
Okay. I think it's around 30. Maybe someone knows his exact age.
A partner's queen third of diamonds in the slot at trick 1. The only lead that would let us make it.
And that
Needless to
partnership
say-
had never played a hand after that.
Well, I can tell you that it took my left-hand opponent almost 5 minutes to go up with the queen third of diamonds after staring a hole through her partner's head. I kind of don't blame her.
Well, of course, at the other table, in the 6 diamonds, doubled down 1 here. At the other table, north-south took the plunge to 6 spades, got doubled and went 2 down, so 11 more imps to Fireman. Fireman now has a comfortable 26-0 lead. Yeah, it looks like north-south are playing precision, the nebulous diamond. Stopping at 1 spade. Things are speeding up, so that the slow play early on is starting to move along right now. So it doesn't seem to be any danger.
Now, just note one thing again here. Excuse me. In standard, you wouldn't have a very good rebid here. I suppose in standard, I suppose you could rebid 2 diamonds with some assurances if you're not playing nebulous. But you wouldn't pass 1 spade because your partner might have a pretty good hand. Here, playing precision, you know your partner doesn't have as many as 16 high card points, so you can just afford to pass 1 spade out as Cranyak and not take the risk that the clubs are going to be wide open if you bid a no trump.
Oh, I'm asked about the names of the winning team. I remember 2 pairs. Jenny Wolpert playing with Jill Levin. Then we had Jill Mayers playing with Migri Campanile. And of course I forget the 3rd pair. Come on, David.
I find it difficult to remember your name sometimes. I'm not anyone to ask about names. I can usually remember my wife's name, and I think I'm doing well. You see, it was a good idea to leave the unbid suit spades here. Bank those spade tricks before they got discarded on the club suit. Would have been a bit more difficult to find the right opening lead from the north hand if only no trumps and hearts had been bid on some other system. Supposed east-west were using a forcing 1 no trump response. They might bid that hand by going a heart, a no trump, 2 diamonds, 4 hearts. And then north wouldn't have heard of the clubs being bid and might have chosen some other suit to lead, although Jack 10 to 4 looks quite attractive in spades.
Now I found a fifth name on that team. Hjördis Eithosdottir, originally from Iceland. Disa, known as Disa in USA, and then I forget her partner's name. So an ex-Swede, an ex-Israeli, and an ex-Icelandic player on the American team.
That was USA 2, I remember, who had a really dramatic win against England when England had 80 imps in the minus column on the penultimate set. Sad time for them.
And the sixth player was Janne Seaman Molson. And if you're interested, there's a very nice article in today's bulletin about the Seaman family. And back to the running scores. No, we don't have running scores. We have segment scores. And they're very fast at bridge winners. So 5 to 15 minutes after the segment is over, you'll see segment scores on www.bridgewinners.com.
So Declarer was able to use the club winners to get rid of those 2 low diamonds, just losing 2 spades on the Queen of Hearts.
I'm asked, do they play with screens? The answer is no, not in the round of 32. I believe that they will be playing with screens from tomorrow in the round of 16. Don't kill me if I'm wrong. But it has been confirmed already. Yes, it does indeed start with the round of 16.
Now, Roland, shall I tell you a little story that is going to put up your blood pressure?
Well, try.
During the Gold Cup, when I was watching on BBO, they were playing 16 board sets, starting off with boards 14, 15, 16 in the open room, and the operator clicked forward and showed 17 to the whole world by mistake instead of going back to 1. How's your blood pressure?
Well, I'm pretty calm. I actually wrote the document we sent to all event organizers, where we actually stress that they should split all files into segments. And we actually, of course, we write about that very reason, that the operator may accidentally redeal to the next board not played yet, to be played in the following set. But you know what? They don't always read what we write, and even if they do, they don't always follow our advice. So I'm pretty calm, David. I've seen it so many times.
Yes. Well, anyway, forget about the view graph operators. The main thing is at least you've explained it to 2400 kibitzers, so they won't make that mistake. I know they're not, I know they're not all listening on voice.
Yes, it's very unfortunate, of course, and that's now they've learned a lesson, and next year I'm sure that they'll split the files. So 17 was a foul board, obviously. Is that correct?
I've no idea what happened at all. I brilliantly diagnosed the situation when 16 finished and 17 flashed up, and I said in my commentary, it was about the only sensible thing I said that day, but I said, I bet they put up the wrong board here, which they shouldn't have done, which is something that would really annoy Roland. And sure enough, there was a sort of embarrassed hesitation on the screen, and eventually 17 vanished and 1 came up.
Yeah, Al Hollander tells me that there was a substitute board 17.
Well, we're diagnosing a cigarette break here anyway, because obviously this play of this board's finished.
Yeah, I won't really blame it on the operators. You know, it's a stressful job, and it's very easy. You're on board 16, and you just automatically click on redeal, because that's what you did from 14 to 15 and from 15 to 16, right?
Whether a strong club. See, you can't have it both ways. I would like to preempt 3 hearts with this hand, but if you're playing it intermediate, unless you want to treat this as intermediate, you really can only bid 2 hearts here. Bidding only 2 gives North a chance to bid a non-forcing 2 spades. Now, Hampson looks like he'd like to bid with his 2 aces. That's some prime offensive values. And obviously, look at that, 3 hearts on 2 small. You got to know that your partner doesn't clown around here to be able to bid 3 hearts on 2 small.
I must have gotten mixed up, because I thought on the last hand, if Demui ducked the king of hearts and won the 10 of hearts and played the 10 of diamonds, I think he's short a trick. He doesn't have the entry. He has to use the spade as an entry to get to the hearts, and that's only 9 tricks. Am I wrong? I'm looking at it now. I only count 9 tricks. If he wins the second heart, duck the king, win the 10 with the ace, and play the 10 of diamonds, I think he's only got 9 tricks. Now, I don't know, maybe the operator, he was saying that Vince holds his cards close to his vest. Maybe he didn't see it or something, but I don't think he can make it. Anyhow, we're on to this hand.
Yes, I agree with you. I looked at it again. Yes, you're right.
The table commentators agree.
Yes, Hampson needed to play hearts before the last spade is what he needed to do.
Yeah. So this is not chop liver. A good guess here, running the 9 of spades would help. Plays the queen. Oh, this is going to be sweet. And now here comes the 13th diamond. Cool. Less, of course. South has a four spade.
Well, he still's got to guess the spade, though.
Missed. Hit the goalpost, as they say in hockey. I think once East played a heart, that South was always going to go wrong in spades.
He also didn't imagine that he had a heart over rough threatened that righty had raised on too small. So in fairness to Demoy.
Yeah. Here comes the nebulous one diamond again. Oh, they are not using screens, according to the operator.
Not until tomorrow. No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
That's a function of how many they just have on the playing area.
Screens are very cumbersome. For the benefit of the Kibbs, the double by South is called a support double. It tells his partner that he has 3-card support for his responding suit of hearts. Therefore, had he bid 2 hearts, he would have 4.
So what do you do with the West hand?
Well,
put me down for redouble. I like what Eric did.
I like the redouble too. Just card showing more than anything else. Hampson is going to trot out 3 diamonds. There it is. Now what would you do?
3 no trump.
3 no trump. Exactly. Some people play spades. The redouble of 1 spade, it's like one of the top 3 honors or something like that. But I don't think it happens in this case. The double is just card showing.
Yes, I think those are Rosencrantz doubles and redoubles. Those were more popular in the old days than they used to be. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't have value. They certainly do. And on the right hand, if getting the lead right and wrong is the key to the hand, then it's a good treatment. But I think it's one that seems to have fallen by the wayside a little bit.
It's fallen by the wayside a lot.
Yeah. Yes, a lot.
Given that South's 1 diamond doesn't promise diamonds, the East hand, the 3 diamond bid is natural. It's not a Q bid. So here we are. Should be relatively painless, really. Fourth from your longest and strongest. He knows that there are 5 cards higher than the 6. He has 2 of them. Dummy has 1, so Declarer has 2. I guess if it was King Jack spot that Declarer has, might be right to play the ace now. Now would he play the 10 of hearts or would he play the Queen of clubs?
And my guess is the Queen of clubs, but I'm not entirely sure. He sees, from his perspective, the player might have easily the queen of spades and have 5 spades and a heart of 6. You can see that hearts are 6, 3, or 5. I mean, he knows that he can only take one more heart, and then the communications can be cut. So let's see, from Vince's perspective, what's the more likely way to beat this? If partner has one top club on her, almost for sure the hand can be beaten. Unless the player has the queen of spades, that would be 5 spade tricks, and the top club on her would be 6. And one heart on her is 7. So that's a fairly sure route to beat it. Assuming one exists, which it doesn't.
Ten of hearts was a welcome sign for West, but tend to show 3 cards in there. So.
But he already knew that from the support double.
He already knew.
He already knew the hearts were 6-3.
Yeah, but this is now the end of the road.
It is indeed. At this point, with all the club honors, even if he had the queen of spades, he would be getting squeezed right now on the jack of diamonds.
There we are, another claim. This table is way ahead of the other table. The other table is on board 9. The diamond team has yet to get off the schneid, as they say in gin. 0 imps. So they have to get off this. They have to score something to get off the Schneider. Now it's West that's opening the nebulous diamond.
So again, kind of same song, second verse. I mean, Eric Greco's going to rebid a no trump, and let's see if Hampson gives this up white or whether he tries for a game here. As he just passes. Now this actually is a reasonable game here, but experience tells him it's more likely to be 11 opposite 11 than a good 13 opposite 11. So he's going to make about 10 tricks now, I think. 4 clubs and 3 diamonds is 7, and 2 hearts is 9, and a spade is 10.
What would you have done, Jack? Would you have bid 2 no trump with the East End?
Maybe, maybe not. You know, it depends on my opening bid style. If I was playing with a solid opening bidder, yeah. If I'm opening everything that moves, no. Particularly white.
Well, you're playing precision with a nebulous diamond. I would pass.
In all honesty, I would probably pass and be sorry that I missed the game.
Same here.
This is actually kind of squeezing the dummy quite a bit. I think as a result of all this, we may just see him head for home. We may not even take the diamond finesse.
No, I don't think he will either. I knew he's got his contract made. Who knows?
Well, maybe he will. He's got 7 tricks. This is a freebie. Maybe this one's on the house.
Well, it looks like he's going for it. Good boy. So, $1.50.
To show an unspecified suit. You know, that's a really risky method to play, because he had to then risk bidding 3 hearts on really quite a moderate hand, except for the 7th heart, just to make sure his partner knew which suit he had. I mean, 3 hearts could have gone for quite a big number vulnerable. It's so much better, if you can, to be able to bid 2 hearts on a single suitor, and then use double to, I'd have thought, to show some sort of 2-suitor, because you really can't afford to be shut out from showing your suit when you've got a good 6 or 7 card major.
Right. My preferred method here is to play the Wolsey defense to 1 neutral, where West would have bid 2 diamonds to show 6 cards normally in one of the majors. And when North bids 2 spades, East knows where it is. There's no reason for Fireman to get this right. Going up with the king is only right when North has the stiff queen. It would be wrong if he had any other singleton. So playing south for ace queen and another is a better shot. I don't think he will get it right. There we go.
That was twice as good as rising with the king, because it would work against single 10 or 6, and the king, as Roland explained, will only work against single queen. And it's not logical to say, well, he can't have singleton 6 once the 6 is shown. That's the sort of fallacy that puts a few lesser players off from understanding restricted choice for the whole of their lives. The odds were 2 to 1.
Suppose we can have Liverpool Sunderland on in the background with no sound, starting in 10 minutes. So nothing to the play from here on, of course. The contract will go down. Now it's going 2 down. Well, playing for hearts to break to 2. So that's another 200. 200 at one table, 200 at the other. A useful 9 imps.
Well, it's more or less entirely down to the different defences that they were playing to 1-no trump. Big advantage for East-West to know that they had that West had hearts at the other table. Well, or more likely that it was a bigger disadvantage here when West felt that he couldn't allow his hearts to go unbid and he had to start with an artificial bid. What sort of defence is it that plays that a double is an unknown suit? Is that Cappelletti?
No, I think no. That would be 2 clubs to show a 1-suiter in Cappelletti. Double to show a 1-suiter. Let me think.
Yuan says that it could be don't.
Don't.
Don't,
yeah.
or Meckwell.
Yeah, or Brosel, right? Yes.
Well, let's see if South opens. Yes, he has. Well, of course. Oh, sorry, I miscounted. He had 11 points. Of course, he's going to open. Yes.
Yeah, yes, because when you play a 14-16 no trump, you can open 11 counts balanced because your rebid will show 11 to 13.
Well, anyway, on that hand, you might open the 12 to 14 no trump. The 10 and 9 of clubs could easily be worth extra tricks, and you've got a couple of major suit 10s as well. I mean, I'm not a great believer in shunting hands up or down a range, but certainly would on that hand upgrade it.
It's a very good score for Hampson and Greco in the other room, bidding to 3 no trumps. It's not obvious at all that you'll get there. At this point, West redoubled to show cards. North bid 2 hearts, East 3 diamonds. He has a pretty good hand, playing straight. And West bid 3 no trumps. So far, we're not really in the same situation because West bid a no trump here.
Well, it's pretty close because I think a free bid of 1 no trump is not going to be less than a 10 count. I mean, he's facing a 1 level overcall, so I'd think 10 to 12 is fine. Certainly East is worth 3 diamonds opposite it. Of course, East is just competing for the part score. He knows that his partner won't have more than 2 spades to have bid 1 no trump. But still, he's very well worthwhile competing. He doesn't want to sell out to 2 hearts.
No. Oh, well, I agree. I like 3 diamonds, and that should be enough for Fireman to bid again.
Ooh, I think it's a bit close. Because East had the option of bidding 3 no trumps with good diamonds. His partner's bid 1 no trump, so I think it's a bit close whether Fireman bids 3 no trumps now.
Yeah, but don't you think he has something to spare for his 1 no trump?
Well, yeah, he's up a range, but he's not outside the range, and his partner would have competed just on distribution. But anyway, he's hoping that on this bidding the ace of hearts is going to be onside, so he can think that the King Queen 1 of hearts is similar in value to Ace Queen 1 or even Ace King 1. Yeah. So I mean that's a fair shot. If his partner's got 5 diamonds, then he may well be able to make, say, 4 diamond tricks, 2 hearts and 2 clubs, and then he'd only need 1 spade. So looks like he couldn't really afford not to bid it.
No, that's right. Oh, this time he will get diamonds right. I know it was the heart suit before, but his odd favourite to get diamonds right here. So a heart to the ace, heart to the king, and now a diamond. Diamond 10 or a low diamond. Planning to insert the jack if he plays a low diamond. If he does that, South should duck it. So that's why it's a little better to advance the 10 of diamonds, because if that holds, you are in a very good position, because you can continue diamonds from your hand. Well, Platnik's thinking about switching to the queen of clubs, I suppose, or maybe the jack if they play Rusinov. On the other hand, partner...
Gosh, well, he'll play a heart backwards. Oh, he has switched to a club.
Well...
Oh, that's a bit surprising.
There you go.
Yes. I was thinking that he would play a heart because his partner might have the Queen of Hearts, but of course Declarer could duck if in that case.
Not quite sure why Declarer took 11 tricks in the other room. I know he can take 11 tricks now in this room, but in the other room it went a heart to the ace and a heart back, and I don't think you can take more than 10 tricks.
Well, you've got 3 spades and 2 hearts is 5, and 4 diamonds is 9, and Ace King of Clubs.
Yeah, the Queen of Spades falls, that's true.
Well, that's a good board for East-West anyway to flatten it. Wasn't that obvious how they were going to get to 3-no trumps with the opponents opening with 2 bids. It's never easy. So the most important point about the bidding is that 1-no trump is quite a strong bid in this auction. East's only overcalled at the 1 level, and both the other players are bidding, so you're not going to bid 1-no trump on 7 or 8 points at all. You wouldn't want to bid, say, 2-no trumps on a 12 count, as we've seen, because you're not facing an opening bid, you're just facing a 1 spade overcall, and that may have been bid on Ace King Jack to 5 and a bust just for the lead.
So it's a safe spade finesse here, of course, because West still has a hard stopper. Won't give him more tricks. 11.
Exactly, you know, the bidding, the defense, declare play, etc.
So in addition to the rough, they're threatening to cut declare off him his diamond suit, and this is a spade suit that is, in a way, frozen for north-south. They can easily take 2 spade tricks, but if they want to get the 3rd spade trick, neither one of them can play spades. If north would play spades, east could play low and bring the 9 of spades into play.
What do you think he should do? Jack, win the Jack of Diamonds and lead a low heart?
Yeah, I'm not sure what else he would do, to be honest with you.
I agree.
Any chance he's going to play low here? Let's just think about this. He knows that right he started with, I think, with ace, king, queen of clubs. And ace of hearts is 13. Still places the ace of spades at his left because he's playing against the club system. Either side could have the queen of spades, probably.
Yeah, low might
perhaps,
be a bit of a reach.
Although perhaps Demoy is more likely to have bid 2 spades on ace queen fourth rather than ace empty fourth. But you know, that's not so certain.
I'd be surprised if he played low.
I mean, I wouldn't, because think about this. I mean, if Kraniak, he's not playing against the club opener. Yeah, I mean, when he made a takeout double, that's my bad.
Not a biggie. So what happens now if North plays the ace of clubs?
Well, nothing good for declare. Let's see. He would be tapped,
he's got to play.
forced to play. Now he's going to clearly play low.
Oh, 100%. You can't have the ace of spades. Well, maybe he could, but I doubt it. South wouldn't be bidding freely in that case.
I mean, it possibly could have gotten it wrong, but you know, I mean, maybe Kraniak doesn't know for sure that the diamonds are locked out of the dummy. Maybe he's trying to cash out, but certainly he could have gotten this result just by exiting passively, you know, with the ace of clubs.
Well, that's what's going to happen. It doesn't matter what he plays. If he plays low, I think that South is the king. Oh dear, this is not going to turn out right. Now
all right, and he still has a trump loser to boot, so he's going to be 3 down.
Ace of clubs now. Yeah, 3 down. Mind you, he's always 2 down. Well,
maybe I missed something here. I mean,
7, 8. So 8.
Already down 2, and I thought he had a further trump trick to lose from where we were. But okay.
Me too. It may get corrected later on. In any event, this is the last board of the session, board 16. We have some thank yous. We'd like to thank the ACBL for permitting BBO to bring this broadcast to you. We'd like to thank Bridge Base Online, Fred Gittleman and Uday, for having this vehicle so that we can all enjoy our favorite pastime. We'd like to thank Jan Martel, who's organizing the Viewgraph. I'd like to thank Jack for joining me. It's wonderful. This might only be the second time we ever commentated together, but your comments are very insightful, no question. I'd like to thank our operator, Ross, our Viewgraph operator. He did a great job. Hardly any undos except when we crashed, and that's understandable. And we'd like to thank the Specs for their comments and their patience, and we hope that you all enjoyed yourself and come back real soon, because once the other table is finished and they compare, they'll be sitting down shortly thereafter to play another 16 boards, and it will be fun.
And of course, thanks to you, George, as well. Now, wait a minute. No matter how light they open, I can't believe that Hampson passed 2-0 with a 15 count. This cannot be right. I don't think so.
So
this is like one of these hands.
As soon as I say there's no undo, there's an undo, right? As soon as I say there were no undos, we're about to get one, I guess. Ta-da! Here comes 3-0.
Yeah, that makes more sense. So now let's just talk about the 2-club response for just a second. I mean, it's clearly it wasn't alerted, so I don't think it's anything artificial. And certainly it's an operation of sort, but people increasingly just bid 2 clubs on all sorts of balanced hands just to see what kind of hand partner can have. Over 2 clubs, you're not going to miss a 5-4 heart fit, right? I mean, because partner's going to bid 2 hearts, and then you can boost in hearts, and you're playing a strong club system, so you can just bid 4 hearts, and that's the end of it. But if partner bids 2-0 or something, you're willing to play 3-0, and you certainly don't want to tip the opponents off that you have a 5-card heart suit coming down in the dummy. So if you're willing to commit yourself to playing 3-0 opposite a 5-3 fit, then, you know, I have to say bidding 2 clubs makes a lot of sense. On a good day, you catch a heart lead, and maybe today's a good day. Because certainly a diamond lead is much more effective for North-South against 3-0.
Wow. And by the same token, you have 2, not 1, but 2 5-3 major suit fits.
I confess that the logic of the Queen of Hearts kind of escapes me. But, you know, what do I know? I mean, in the total scheme of things, maybe it's a long shot with the Yarborough that if I have King 5th of diamonds, I'm going to live to tell the story and be able to run the suit. But today happens to be that day. There's going to be ace and a diamond in the dummy, and my partner's going to have entries and a 3rd diamond.
And that will go down. Meanwhile, at the other table, my guess is that they will be in 4 of either major.
Now, wait a minute. The way that Demoy is defending makes me think that they're in 4 spades, because he's not returning a heart from 10-4 into the King Jack 9 in the dummy. Not in the real world.
I agree. Operator, do we have the right final contract?
Yeah, I'm questioning quite a bit about what's happening here.
Here we go with the undo.
Opening lead of the stiff Queen of Hearts against 4 spades makes a lot of sense.
How about 1 spade, 2 hearts, 3 hearts, 3 spades, 4 spades, something like that.
I think maybe let's let the operator tell us what's going on. I would not be surprised when the smoke clears if we're defending 4 spades and John Kraniak is just trying to get his rough. Of course, after I gave that spiel talking about what a brilliant stunt it was to bid 2 clubs to get yourself to 3-0, he's getting himself to 4 spades. But, you know, that's the way these things work.
The fans are going to go wild, though. You've given the fans another option. They may say, well, why don't we play that? Why don't we play that?
So let's see what's going to go. It's going to go. He's going to win the heart. He's going to play ace and a spade. That's trick number 1. Here comes the spade ruff for trick number 2 with what was going to be a heart trick. The diamond finesse works. You give up a club.
Making 4?
Yeah, making 4. Okay, folks, it was fun. George, it was fun. Good luck to all you folks. And the second session will be pretty much whenever the first table gets done is what I would say.
I agree. We'll see you later, Jack. Thanks a lot.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, in the other room, Kraniak also got a heart lead, 1 in hand, and then he advanced the jack of diamonds at trick 2, losing to the queen. Shouldn't he have gone down then? Perhaps not. Ah, then Greco cast the ace of clubs. And switched to a spade.
So he was okay if he played ace and another club, was he?
Yeah, I think so. But after ace of clubs, I mean, they play upside down signals, right? So the 9 wasn't entirely, you see. So that's
No.
why he switched.
Did North hide the 4 of clubs and maybe the 6 to try and confuse them? Which club did he play on the ace?
His lowest. Sorry. It's a 7. He played the 7 of clubs.
Ah, I thought he might. So the 6 and 4 were missing, and the 9 was read as a high card.
Perhaps he should have followed with the 10 rather than the 9. Would that have made it clearer, do you think, David? What could the 10 be from? Could still be from 10 small, couldn't it? As a discouraging signal.
Yes.
10-6-4?
Well, you don't want to have to think too long about it. I think all he can do is just play a true card and just hope that partner can read it. Anyway, looks like they've done better here. But I'm still not quite sure. You say he switched to a spade at the other table?
Yes.
Well, that's a bit of a long shot with a singleton spade visible in the dummy, isn't it? Wasn't a club better? I mean, I know he can't have thought that that was an encouraging signal, but it might have been. And I don't know that a spade is much good with the singleton spade in the dummy and the diamond's about to be set up.
So here declarer has no chance when he misguessed diamonds, and we'll go one down. 12 imps to Fireman.
Well, it's not really a misguess. I mean, if the runs the jack and that forces the ace, then he can run the 10 next time. Gives him more chance of multiple discards. I mean, going up with the king and it holding would still leave him with a problem in clubs.
So another precision 1 diamond, 2 plus cards, 11 to 15 high card points. Same opening at the other table, and West decided to double here.
He doubled,
Do you prefer double, or would you overcall 2 clubs, David?
Well, I hadn't quite focused in on the whole hand. I was going to say that people would tend to bid 2 clubs on that, but now you mentioned double, of course, I think that is a better choice. It was 4-3 in the majors. Yeah, you want to look for the major suit fit. Yes, on that shape, I think a double is pretty clear cut. But even if you had, say, a doubleton diamond, and the textbooks would say, oh, you can't overcall on a 5-card suit at the 2 level. Of course you want to mention ace, king, queen to 5. You just can't afford to keep quiet. Find that North ends up in 3 no trumps and your partner is sitting there thinking what to lead. You have to try and always bid when you've got a good suit. Find some way of getting in, even if it's a little bit risky.
Now, of course, I've got a question. What is 1 spade? It denies spades for north-south.
Even if 1 spade had been natural, the traditional meaning of East double would be to say that I'm making a penalty double because I've got spades. And that was originally, that method was invented to stop people psyching on a short suit when they had a good diamond fit on the north hand. Because you're expecting West to have at least support for spades and probably 4 spades. So when North bids spades and you've got 4, he may be trying to rob you, or in the old days anyway, people used to frequently psych in that situation. But here one spade denied spades, so again it was fairly obvious for the double to show spades by East.
Yeah, and I'm asked now, how do they show hearts and spades? They will redouble with a heart suit and bid 1 heart with spades.
Using transfers by responder after a double or an overcall is one of the sort of big advances in bidding. Similarly, to use transfers facing partners overcall. So, although it's many decades since probably it was Jacoby who first came up with the idea of transferring facing 1 no trump, in the last 10 years or so, players have fallen so in love with the idea of transfers that they're using them more and more to great effect in those areas.
I'm asked if West could have bid 1 no trump if they had played the Raptor convention. He could have. He could double still. Raptor convention shows exactly 4 in a major and a longer club suit on this auction if you play a Raptor. I don't know how popular Raptor is in North America, but I know it's not popular in Europe. Hardly any plays Raptor.
Well, any time you discuss with your partner, shall we play this new convention, you've got 2 things to look at, and that is how well it's going to work when you use the convention. Just as important, you've got to look at what sacrifice you're making by giving up a natural bid. And you are making one huge sacrifice if you give up a 1 no trump natural overcall particularly nowadays when players open so light, particularly when they open on any old rubbish in the third seat. Of course you want to have a natural one no trump overcall. So there's not much point explaining the Raptor convention and sending an article to Bridgeworld and showing all these hands where you're 4-5 and how well it works on those hands, without in some way justifying how you can survive on the many millions of hands where you would have loved to overcall one no trump natural.
Yes, and not only that, with a hand like Fireman's, if you bet one no trump, you exclude hearts, and hearts may be the right spot for you. So this is a double. If you don't overcall two clubs, then you should double, and I prefer double. And both West players did here.
Sort of interesting though that if Wolpert's double had shown spades, which is what I thought it would have meant, then West would at any rate have to think carefully before bidding two clubs when he knows that he had a 4-4 spade fit. So I'm not sure he would have bid two clubs, much as he wants to mention the suit. So I'm sort of taking back my guess that Wolpert's double showed 4 spades.
Well, maybe it did to Wolpert, and maybe Fireman wasn't sure. Maybe he thought it just showed cards, like a responsive double.
Well, yes, I was going to say, well, they should know that at this level, but of course it's slightly unusual to bid a spade to say that you haven't got spades. So when you encounter strange systems, maybe not for players at this exalted level, but at lower levels, that's where misunderstandings are going to crop up, when you haven't discussed whether your standard method in another situation still applies when the meaning of the opposing bid is slightly different. Well, that looks like a precision style 2 diamonds, showing short diamonds and either 4-4-1-4 or 4-4-0-5. Or if you want to extend the use of the bid, you can treat it 3-4 in the majors and a singleton diamond. Definitely shows short diamonds anyway. And South is quite happy to play in spades against any of those shapes.
Yes, and the recommended lead on an auction like that is a trump. So here we have another example, David, where you want to lead a trump. I would be surprised if Fireman doesn't lead a trump. A dummy has a short suit, void or a singleton diamond precisely. So you want to cut down on the roughs in the hand with short trumps if he only has 3, as here. So that's a pretty good lead. As it happens, I don't think you can defeat 4 spades, actually. Well, Declare played a diamond at trick 2. I think he could have taken 10 tricks, maybe not any more. But that's not really a concern of his. I mean, he's in 2 spades. So 8 tricks. He would be looking for 8 tricks first of all. And that's what he'll get. Wait a second. Oh no. Should he have... Well, I don't think this will work now. Because West can score his 9 of spades. Well, I think he had to lead play a diamond from the table. Opening communications. If they want to play a spade, well, then they're 3-3. And you have the ace of hearts as an entry to the club tricks. Yes, that will give you 8 tricks. Now you are going down. Well, not on that defense. Sorry. It just gave it back to him. Never mind. Yes, the ace of diamonds wasn't good. It had to be a low diamond, but that's easy for us. Now he has 9 tricks, but he can't take 8 tricks anymore if West underleads his diamonds. Anyway, here we are on the last board of the first segment. Time for me to thank our excellent operator in Dallas. Maya is her name. Thanks to her, flawless. Thanks to the ACBL, Jan Martel in particular, of course, for arranging all this for us. Thanks to David Bird, who vanished. I think he's back now. Thank you, David, for the voice commentary. And thanks to all our colleagues doing the written part of it. Of course, last but not least, thanks to our listeners for coming this afternoon in USA, evening in Europe. We hope you enjoyed this show and that you will be back for the second segment, scheduled to start in around 20 minutes, but you never know. They can actually start whenever they like. They don't play the same boards in all matches. But I think it's fair to assume that we'll be back in about 20 to 25 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, I just got disconnected there. Again, we see the case here where East has got game values but only 3 spades, so has to make some waiting bid in another suit before raising the spades. And when partner shows a 5-3 heart fit, then you need to know now whether this mixed sequence, as it's called, where both players are supporting each other, is forcing. Well, that's not such a problem if you play 2 of the 1 systems, because you're forced up to game anyway. But we can see that 3 spades obviously is forcing, and East has been able to show his second suit on the way. So West would have the chance to cube it now if he had a good hand. Does he have a good hand? Of course he doesn't.
Yes,
Queen, Jack, Queen.
A lousy hand. Yeah. Yeah, 2 hearts was game forcing, actually.
I think he's chosen to play in hearts because he would rather the lead came through his queens in the unbid suit. You see now that the Queen Jack X of diamonds, that they can't do any damage in diamonds played that way around, but if North was on lead they could perhaps set up the king in the south hand before a discard could be set up on the other 5-card major. And his own spades were pretty weak as well, so there might have been quite a few trump losers on a bad break. So it looks like a good decision to decide to play in hearts on that rather unusual sequence.
Now, Declare would have to lose a heart, obviously. He can't go wrong in spades. He will lead towards the queen at some point. Spade to lose, a heart to lose, and a club to lose. Looks like 10 tricks. And a flat board. Are we going to continue with this match? I'm asked. Yeah, that's the normal procedure in USA, that we show 32 boards of one match and then switch later for the evening session.
One thing that I haven't really concentrated on at all was which side has been playing well in general. What's your impression, Roland? Has Fireman played better to justify that 43-10 scoreline?
Well, perhaps not so much in this room. I think Greco and Hampson has a very good card in the other room. Right, so I'll take a break. Hope to be back a little later. Thank you, David. See you tomorrow.
Okay, I think I'll switch my attention to that Liverpool game you mentioned. Should be a good one.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you.